4K on YouTube using OBS. Obviously, it's gonna be for free because this is free. So I'm gonna show you the best settings also to make sure the stream doesn't lag or doesn't have any other issues, or to avoid even OBS crashing. So let's not take much time. Let's get right into it. What is going on, guys? Some production tips and tools here helping you master live stream. So when it comes to streaming in 4K on YouTube, it's actually super easy. YouTube is actually, I think, is the only platform that supports 4K. Facebook is always behind, and I'm not sure about other platforms, but YouTube is for sure when it comes to streaming. So it's actually very easy, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. However, few things that I want to mention before we get started. The first thing, you want to make sure you have at least a dedicated graphics card, because encoding on your computer is going to be somehow heavy. And another thing is, you want to make sure it's a true something that you may want to look at. And then for the main camera, I'm going to go to the plus sign here, and I'm going to bring here where it says resolution type. You can go to custom, okay? And then you want to make sure you go here underneath. You're going to see what the list of the resolutions that you have available. So I want to make sure you do 4K here. So now it's full screen. And then FPS, you want to make sure you do 30 frames per second. And then you're going to click OK, and then allow OBS to access it. And then everything, okay? H.265, 41. And as you can see, OBS requesting us to paste in, or kind of copy and paste it here. Okay, so just gonna copy it. When you start, usually it's gonna go here. So OBS wants to restart, but as you can see now, my screen capture is actually in full screen. Why? Is because now we're done. As I say, music, gaming, travel, sports, comedy, let's say entertainment. You want to make sure you choose if it's made for kids, and then you want to make sure you go ahead and select thumbnails. You click to that. Going public, again, you click yes. But for us, we're just going to this plus sign here, and then you can go where it says go live, okay? And once you be passed, what is kids, and then you want to make sure you go ahead. Why I go straight back to YouTube. However, for us, we're just gonna keep it simple. We're gonna use this method. Once you're done, again, as you can see, to upscale it, we have 0 drop and what. As you can see on my second scene, remember, because my screen is in full screen, like action video. Make sure you look at. You wanna make sure you look at drop frames. As you can see, we have 0 dropped frames. You also wanna make sure you look at your bit rate here. As you can see, it's kind of changing between by staying around 30. Once you see it, as you can, and if I go here, let me go ahead and change to my main camera here, okay, and then I can go ahead and change from 4K to, as you can see, I have like lower resolutions. See that you're struggling, I should.
To stream to YouTube in 4K. Here are your best settings. Go to the settings tab down in the bottom right-hand corner. This is going to be a combination of the official YouTube recommended settings for this, plus my own from 15 years of experience doing professional broadcasting. All right, the video tab is your first stop, where you are going to set your resolution as well as your frame rate. Your resolution is going to be 3840 by 2160. Copy that and paste it in the field below. What are these two fields? If you're wondering, the base canvas resolution is this area down here, where you're actually building all of your content. See my hand waving down there? I want that to be the same resolution that is going to be the output, which is the output scale. Most people understand is Mac 4K streaming laptop that will be able to pull off 4K streaming for you. For your frame rate, it's up to you what you want to select here. But the two common frame rates that I recommend are 30 frames per second for on-camera content like this, webinars, just chatting stuff, podcasts, etc. 30 frames is fine for that. If you're doing anything super high motion like sports or gameplay or high motion trailers, you need to bump it up to 60 frames per second. For today's tutorial, I'll do 30, but I will tell you later on some special settings for 60, such as bitrate. Hit apply, but do not yet hit OK because we need to go over to the neglected audio tab. Audio tab. For your sample rate, select 44.1 kilohertz. That's YouTube's recommendation, not mine. If you have selected 48 because of your hardware, YouTube's recommending 44.1. Test 44.1. Make sure everything syncs, make sure it sounds okay, and if it does, use 44.1 because that's what YouTube wants you to do. Audio devices, disable all of them. Why? Because you don't want surprises, you don't want pop-ups, you don't want stuff popping up in the background with your audio that you did not add yourself, so add all of your audio devices down here in the mixer manually. Do not let it auto give you a mic in desktop audio. I've done multi-million-dollar webinars, people's Slack notifications going off during their streams. It's embarrassing. Do not let that happen. Disable all your audio devices and manually add them. Take control of your OBS experience and your viewer's experience. Hit apply, but do not yet hit OK. Now, next stop is going to be output. This is where all the complicated settings are, and the crazy 4K enthusiast settings that you are trying to do are located. Output mode is probably going to be on simple when you arrive here. Drop this menu down and make it advanced. It's going to unlock everything that you see here. I do not recommend, when it comes to the encoder, attempting to do this with an X264 encoder. Just don't do it. It's just not going to work. It's probably not going to work. I recommend only using an NVIDIA encoder to pull this off. Why? So that your graphics card can take on the massive encoding load of 4K video. Link in the description below to that laptop that can definitely handle this tutorial. Link below to that. NVIDIA encoder settings, uncheck that because you're blowing it out here, my friends. Your rate control is going to be CBR, constant bitrate. You do not want variable bitrate. Constant bitrate will give you a consistent image quality. For 30 frames per second streams, your minimum bitrate here is 13,000 kbps. That's 13 megabytes per second upload minimum. Okay, well, it's 34,000, aka 34 megabytes per second upload. Let's just have 50 or plus upload speed.